now turn to the Vice Chair, Senator Murkowski.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I join you in thanks and appreciation. I think that this was a good overview of these areas that are so important. Everything from education to economy to what is happening with agriculture. Clearly, implementation of infrastructure, housing. These priorities have been well articulated. So I appreciate what you have shared with the committee. Ms. Borromeo, I want to drill down on some of the specifics because you were very succinct in providing us 4 suggestions, and what I particularly like is I think that they are imminently achievable. Certainly things like being able to submit compliance reports by utilizing mail rather than online, which we know in far too many of our Alaska Native communities and in so many parts of Indian country. Broadband is still not where we want it to be, despite our good infrastructure bill. And then reporting annually rather than quarterly when we acknowledge just what it takes to meet these compliance requirements. So I thank you for that. You noted the priority for making consortium applications eligible. And I think you've hit on something that is really key to us in recognizing that AFN and other tribal consortia make use of economies of scale to ensure that some of the smallest villages, which oftentimes have absolutely the highest need, can benefit, but they simply lack that capacity, the resources. You've shared how you think, for instance, in reporting annually rather than quarterly, that's a demonstrated benefit. Can you expand a little bit more for the committee on why the federal government really needs to focus on recognizing this power of tribal designation in the administration of some of these infrastructure programs?
Koyana for the question, Vice Chairman Murkowski. The basic tenet and central to federal Indian law is recognizing the inherent tribal self-governance and native self-determination powers of our tribes. And when they make a designation as to who or how they would like to receive a particular federal benefit, the federal government should, absent some very serious concerns, for lack of a better word, allow that tribe to receive the benefit in the manner that it sees fit. A consortium application is a smart way of making sure that all of the resources that this committee has worked so hard to achieve and see in our communities will actually get there. And as long as the organization, whether it be AFN or any throughout Indian country or in the islands, is administering the grant program correctly, the tribe should be able to utilize that as an opportunity to receive the benefit. And having implemented these programs now for 2.5 years, I can assure you that the audit requirements are stringent, that the federal program officers are on the ball and doing their job. We have regular check-ins with ours. And also, though, that broadband is a significant portion of a grant application and compliance as well. It takes me and AFN's federal program officer for the NTIA Tribal Broadband Connectivity Program report about 1.5 hours to work on certain aspects of our compliance. And that's 2 attorneys with high-speed broadband. I can't imagine if Josh, our Standing Horse, who is our FPO for NTAI, was having to do this with 74 tribes spread out from Utiavik to Unalaska all the way down to Saxman. It would be impossible. It would be an administrative burden that would be too heavy a load to bear.
Thank you for that. And I so appreciate gleaning from what AFN and others have done, some of the lessons learned here, because we need to be paying attention to that.